What does great acting look like to you? To me, a characteristic of great acting, like exceptional stand-out from the crowd acting, is versatility. Some actors get a chance to display this during a single role. Some of my favorites in this category are Naomi Watts in Mulholland Drive, going from this to this, and Sylvester Stallone in First Blood, going from this to this. I absolutely love movies like these, with great actors performing these sorts of complex characters, displaying a range of emotion with personalities that cannot easily be fit into a box. Other actors have a tendency to display this versatility across many roles. Some of my favorite examples here are Toni Collette, Johnny Depp, and Jim Carrey. This isn't to say actors must belong to one group or the other, or that actors who are typecast are bad at their job or can't perform outside of that typecast. This is a surface-level, simple essay that I thought of after watching Edward Norton in Primal Fear, and really this is just an excuse to gush over his performance. In the makeshift categories I've created, Edward Norton fits both during his film career, starting in 1996. And in the 27 years since his debut, he has starred in 42 films. I've only seen 10 of these movies, and in no way am I an Edward Norton expert, but it doesn't take much to appreciate his work and see the skill he possesses. His acting is versatile. He seamlessly blends into each film he stars in, embodying the tone of the film while not fading into the background. He is present, even if the character he is playing is softer, lacking in intensity or complexity. There's a weight he carries around. You can feel the influence he has on a film. You can see what he has brought to the project, no matter how subtle his performance appears to be. Edward Norton shows a sizable range across his career. Right from the start, though, he showed an intense range of what he is capable of in a single performance. Today I'll be talking about his first film role as Aaron Stampler in Primal Fear. I think this is one of the best pieces of acting I've ever seen. I hold it up there with First Blood and Dog Day Afternoon for sheer quality, capturing my intrigue and never letting it go. Something I think about long after the credits have finished rolling. The entire cast in Primal Fear is great at what they're doing. Richard Gere's performance is certainly the focus of the film for the first 14 minutes. He continues to deliver a very intense and convincing performance throughout the movie. He is his character. There are a lot of other great actors here too, notably Frances McDormand and Laura Linney. But Edward Norton rolls around during that 14-minute mark and just blows them all out of the water, despite being billed 8th in the cast. There will be some spoilers, mostly centered around Norton's performance. I don't want to entirely spoil the movie for those of you who haven't seen it yet, because this is the kind of movie you want to go into as blind as possible. As a note, I'm a firm believer that if I'm going to talk about a great performance, you should be able to see it unedited. But because Paramount appears to be notorious for copyright claims, the clips will be altered, sped up, and with filters applied to avoid the censors. We're first introduced to Aaron Stampler after the murder of a popular Chicago archbishop. He's a soft-spoken, scared, stuttering altar boy.
Sometimes. I have spells. I have spells.
Look at the way he avoids eye contact. It's the type of avoidance that doesn't necessarily scream guilty, but rather displays the character's anxieties, his fears. You can get the sense he's leaving out details when being questioned by attorney Martin Vale and psychologist Dr. Molly Arrington, but he gives off an air of truth. Vale doesn't think he's guilty. Dr. Arrington doesn't think he's guilty. And as an audience member, you side with them. This is also set up by the other characters. Our main character, Vale, begins the movie by claiming he doesn't care if his client is innocent or guilty.
You don't know. You don't ask. You don't care. You do the goddamn job.
He's adamant that it doesn't matter, yet the stone-cold, slightly narcissistic attorney believes the altar boy's innocence. Conversely, the prosecutor, Janet Venable, does think Aaron is guilty, as does everyone else. You don't want to side with them because they don't know Aaron like you do as the audience member. They haven't spent the time with him like Vale has. When Venable calls out Aaron's stuttering as a performance, you get mad because it's not a performance. That's who he is. That's how he speaks. However, when he's being questioned, he grows increasingly more agitated when sensitive topics are brought up. Then there's this moment where he just snaps.
Well, how the fuck should I know?
He suddenly becomes very aggressive and vulgar, It's a brief flash of a side of this character that didn't seem possible just seconds earlier. Every second of Edward Norton's performance feels so believable. He wholly embodies these two different characters into one person, from the voice to the facial expressions to the mannerisms. He switches it up at the drop of a dime. Then he comes back too. He has no recollection of these violent outbursts, having had these blackouts since he suffered abuse as a kid. My heart rarely pounds during movies. It's not often that a film or a television show can elicit that sort of involuntary reaction out of me. Let me tell you that my heart was pounding throughout this performance, not out of fear but out of anticipation. Norton's ability to snap in and out of character within a single character is incredible. Look at the way he moves. Suddenly he's moving with confidence. Instead of shrinking into himself, he's inhabiting the entire room. This is his space. His body language exudes dangerousness. It's impulsive, confident, and aggressive. His smile goes from humble, sweet, and innocent, a boyish charm, to something utterly cocky, boastful, and smug. Compare that to the young man moments before, who looks as if he couldn't hurt a fly, who looks clueless, confused. Now you got this. It's just incredible. Norton would be the only actor in this film to receive a nomination for his role. And not just one, but 18. 18, including an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor. He ended up winning half of them, including a Golden Globe for Best Supporting Actor and many critics' awards for the same category. That's pretty impressive for a first-time film actor. And honestly, that's about it. I just really wanted to talk about Edward Norton. Comment down below what your favorite Edward Norton film is. If you like this video, feel free to like it and subscribe to my channel where I talk about movies. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.